we are going to be talking about this crazy market. One day we're down, one day we're up. Where are we going? Let me just get the link tweeted out over here. I hope you're having a great Friday. I honestly did not sleep so well. So if you guys like my live stream, you want to buy me a cup of coffee, there is a link down below to buy me a cup of coffee. I am exhausted, did not sleep well, woke up at 11, woke up at 2, and definitely tired today. So Fridays as well tend to be positioning days. And we're definitely seeing more positioning on XLF, the bank ETF. So keep that in mind. We will go over it. A lot of dark pool activity, a lot of dark pool activity. And so very much keeping my eyes on the banks. I've been watching the banks for quite a while now and seeing even more volume coming into it. Big, heavy volume. Also, heavy volume, we just got some on Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So let's get into the stock charts. And let me pull up the live stream so I can see you. There we go. And a reminder too, if you like the live stream, please hit that like button. That little like costs nothing and it helps the YouTube algorithm to share it with more people so more people can see it live and join in. All right, so the SPY right here, this is our 24-hour chart. Why is it not working? So a couple of things I want to tell you guys. I don't know if you know about the World Economic Forum. You bought SPCE? All right, Aaron, well, SPCE is on my list today, so we will talk about that. But this is going on right now, cyber polygon. So the World Economic Forum was saying, hey, we've seen all these cyber attacks coming out, and we want to, do a test run of how we can train people. So it's a cyber polygon's a unique cybersecurity event that combines the world's largest technical training for corporate teams and online conference featuring senior officials from international organizations and leading cooperations. So they have been working on this, and the training is going to happen. Here's a PDF of it. The theme is they're going to see, how it would affect infrastructure. But what's really interesting is here is the timing of it. So this event is actually going on for 24 hours. So I don't know if something could happen to the internet over the next 24 hours, but they did already have, this is UTC +3. So that means it started at 8 a.m. Eastern, July 9th. And that was a 1 hour prepare for the blue teams. Then the red teams started a simulation on the attack. So if that's 8, that would be 9. So by 1 o'clock, this 4 hour segment will be done. And then there's going to be a 19-hour second scenario. And the participants will be given their credentials and access to the second scenario, including the necessary materials. They'll have 19 hours to go through the scenario. And it will finish tomorrow morning, Saturday the 10th at 8 a.m. Eastern. All right? So I don't know what, if anything, could happen to the internet, but interesting to see that this is going on right now. If anything does happen, maybe that's in relation to it. Also wanted to look at the announcements today. We didn't really have any big announcements. We had the final wholesale number right here, and we have the Fed monetary policy report, which is right here. The Fed reports of lasting but likely still temporary upward pressure on inflation has come from prices and goods experiencing supply chain bottlenecks, right? I know sometimes I go to the grocery store and I see that, like just the other day, they were out of eggs. Then I went somewhere else and they were out of something else. So they're looking at potentially tapering and then raising interest rates come 2022, the beginning of the year, when they talk about that. So it's really interesting. You can read the whole thing. Just go to forexfactory.com right there, and let's get into it. So I'm good, Asif. How about you? So right here on our 24-hour chart, it's really weird. It's not zooming like usual. There we go. Okay, here we are hitting all-time highs right here on the 24-hour chart. We'll pull it over here. Weekly, I did draw a bit of a trend line right there. Let's make this 24 hours and this 45 minutes. weird stuff is happening on my trading view. So I don't know why, but there's definitely some weird stuff happening. So we did come up. If we come back down from here, that's going to be a classic reversal pattern. You know, every time that we do have a market crash, we see all-time highs. That's that last sort of sucking everybody in. Oh no, the market's going to go higher. Buy, 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 for us to sell into you. And then we have it on the Qs, which were the only ones that were down this morning. They opened down and then gamed higher. They filled the gap now on the 24-hour chart over here. They did fill that gap. So looking to see, are they going to roll over here? We do have descending volume, not abnormal for the middle of the day. You can see over here as well, we did have descending volume and descending volume. So that is normal, but it does tend to lead to a bit of a trend change when that volume is dropping off. IWM, I'm surprised to see such a large bounce on IWM today. But we are still within this box. This has been going on for a long time. Let's pull this, oops. Well, we can look at it on the weekly on the right over here. So you can see this, we've been trading sideways since the 8th of February. Hey Terry, welcome, welcome. So we've been trading sideways since the 8th of February, up, down, and we haven't had a major breakout. When we have that major breakout, hello, net sky limit, that's going to be our big major move. And when we look at it, let's see on the 45-minute chart again, we are coming up, we are not breaking above these moving averages. So it does look like we've had a bit of a trend change again that started on the 6th, which was Tuesday, the first day of the week. Major extreme down, surge up. This is our Friday, a shortened trading week. Is this bouncing it back up to sell off more here? We will tell the, we'll be able to tell more by the end of the day. Obviously the close is that most important price action to check on the daily chart. Remember that way back in history, the only price that they had was the close price on the charts. And we also have the Dow Jones moving to the upside. Very, very surprised to see, this is testing the resistance levels though from prior. Obviously VIX is down, XLF. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but we have dark pool prints, right? If you don't know what dark pool prints are, come on over to thedarkpools.com, join the training pit. I will help to educate you there. But this is where the really big guys place all their trades. So these gray lines right here on this chart are dark pool prints, right? And we had some that came in today, right here. We had these that came in yesterday, and we had some more come in. So if we close below this, that is roughly going to be about 11 million of XLF up here. Hey Google, what's 11 million times $36? Hey Google? Hey Google, why aren't you listening to me? What is 11 million times $36.40? Interesting, it doesn't want to give it to me. I don't know what's going on with my Google. Anybody else having weird issues? Times. All right. So that's $400 million that has been traded on XLF over the past couple weeks. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I was worried about you. I hadn't seen you on here in a little while. I was hoping everything is okay. So hope everything is okay. So looking at this, since really yesterday, we've had 11 million in prints on XLF. So that's 400 million. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully maybe it's my internet. Let's do a real quick speed test. Good, I'm glad to hear all is good. All right, let's check. Connecting. Hey, wouldn't that be ironic if I was talking about the cyber attacks and then the internet just sort of went poof at 1 o'clock because they're working on that cyber polygon cyber test. So it is slower than usual. I usually have up to 250, so that is odd. Upload is good, but download speed is much less than normal. All right, let's continue on down the list. So our majors today, right? Amazon, yay, they got the contract away from Microsoft. It surged higher, right? Now, you also have to think about this. What else? The biggest source of income for Amazon is not the retail business. It is that cloud server area. So many websites are on Amazon. If the Amazon servers go down, pretty much that could be like bye-bye internet. I'll show you guys a really quick website too to see websites that are down. So Thousand Eyes outages will show you IP addresses that are down. This is kind of like a cybersecurity video today, huh? So this, it's really slow. You can see all the different IP addresses. So look, we have 72 that are affected in California right now. We've got 25 at Cogent Communications, 15 at NTT America, 4 affected at GTT, 14, and DefenseNet. Wonder what DefenseNet is. But you can see when there's big outages that are happening. And the other one as well is downdetector.com. You're able to see, hey, what is going on? Who's having issues? Like Lowe's is having issues right now in the US, Apple support. But if you're in another country, just simply put your country on the end of it and it will tell you what's going on in your country. So like I'm on Videotron, you guys saw, that is my internet provider, but it doesn't look like, it's not too bad right here. But Gmail looks like it had an issue earlier. Looks like infrastructure is having an issue right now. So those are two cool websites, just a side note there. All right, Facebook as well. Facebook, we've all heard that there's going to be a class action lawsuit against big tech. Facebook did not like that. Dropped for 2 days. We have a little bit of a rebound today. Maybe that's just shorts closing out their position. Many times on Fridays, we do tend to see the closeouts happen by 1 o'clock on Friday, and then it will typically tend to just do its own thing later on in the afternoon. As most traders, you think about it, the really big guys want to go, many of them take off on Fridays, and so they have that big major price action Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays tend to be a bit of a lull day or an exiting of positions. So if they were really short, maybe these are those shorts that we're covering, creating a mini short squeeze on a Friday. Twitter as well, one of the ones mentioned in the lawsuit, 2 days down, a bit of a bounce and rebound to the upside. Would watch to see where we close here. Would need this to really close above 69 before I'd like that to the upside. And Google was the other one that was really affected. Google hit all-time highs and then pulled back yesterday. However, it closed the gap, and today we have tested that gap as well. You bought Facebook, Aaron saying at 348 because I don't believe the lawsuit against Facebook by Trump would really do much harm. Okay, cool. So you are in it. What is your exit point, Aaron? Where do you want to take your profit, and where do you want to, what's your, oh my goodness, I'm going to get out here? Do you have that? Do you have your trading plan set up? Because you want to make sure that you know where you're getting out before you even get in. I know there's a bit of a delay, 15 seconds, so I'll wait on that. All right, so on my list today, again, AMC made the cut this morning. However, it just moved up to those moving averages. You can see here, hey, many times it likes to hang out on these averages. They are averages, 358. Okay, cool. And so it came down, dropped yesterday, bounced up, and continuation right here. You can see it a bit better on the 45-minute chart. So it pulls down, rebounds up, down, up, down, up, down, rebounds up, sort of hovering sideways here. Could even really tighten this a little bit more and say, hey, if this goes above 49.20, I would watch for this trend line right here, roughly 52. That would probably offer some resistance, and also this moving average, the 20 simple. All right, so you have a 6 to 10, 6 risk, 10 profit. You might, I don't know if that's your normal risk ratio of 3 to 5, but you might look at trimming it, making it smaller for the risk size to the downside. All right, Uber as well today had big volume, a bit of a recovery that sort of bounced back up. Are we going to see it end up closing back down later on the day? We had a bit more buying power yesterday, a bit of seller's exhaustion, and moving up today. So where are we going to end up? If we close below the Wednesday candle, I think this will probably drop back down further. Even if we close below 48.20 right here, you can see that was pretty strong support, and so I would look for that to close to the downside. If we go below there, I think we'll see a further move to the downside. NEO as well. So NEO, we bounced off this moving average. I did draw these two trend lines here, so you can see that we are in a bit of a bigger wedge right at the moment, and it did bounce off of support. However, we're sort of stuck between the moving averages right here. And if we have a close below this trend line, I think we could see the test down here at 44.25 and then on down to 42.30. TIGR today, big volume as well. A bit of a recovery from yesterday, went up, hit the moving averages, and then rejected it and continued to the downside and then bounced again over here on the 45. So it went up, pulled back down, bounce. Are we going to have that rollover with descending volume? Oh yeah, no worries, Aaron. Yeah, typically you want to do like 1 to 3. So if you're looking for $9, you'd want to risk $3. Yeah. That's why I asked, to help, right? All right, so Citigroup. Citigroup also we have a little, not abandoned baby, but we have bullish engulfing right here. Hey, greetings, everything's monetizable. So I'm sorry guys, I did not sleep well, so I'm exhausted today. And this is definitely rolling down the hill over here. If we look at the bigger picture for Citigroup, if we were to break out up above this resistance, 69.25, I would be confident that this is moving up. We did see that 11 million on the banks, and we do have bank earnings that are coming up, right? All of the bank earnings are coming up next week. So that could be a reason why we see such big prints happening right now. If they talk about raising interest rates for the banks, that could potentially affect them. However, if you guys know anything as well about ISO 2022, I did do the awesome bank, the awesome bank workshop. I'm really losing my words today, I'm tired. That I did 2 hours talking about the new banking system, of where that's going. And it's right at the top of the description segment there if you want to check it out, and how basically we're likely going to see a major move in the banking power go from the banks more to the people, to be able to have your own money held in crypto as a store of value, as opposed to your money going into a bank and the bank lends it out and makes money with your money. You could use it for staking and put your money into a crypto exchange if you like, instead of a hard wallet, which would be like your safe at home with cash. You could put some in an exchange for staking, and that means it could be lent out to people, or you could earn interest on it if people wanted to short your shares as they get borrowed. So that is something too. Good morning, Roman. So we have SPCE. All right, so Aaron, did you say you bought SPCE today? Yeah. Where did you buy it today, Aaron? So right here, let's look at it on the 15-minute chart, right? So it came down, we hit this moving average, it bounced up, and it has pretty strong resistance right about here. It looks like a mini double top that's setting up for us. So if this does not break up above 51.75, I would look for this to have a further continuation to the downside. Again, I did draw a little triangle over here. It's caught between the two. If we close below 48.90, I would look for this to come back down, test here 46.30, and then test the lower bound of this triangle. It might have that momentum where it shoots up, pulls back, tests, pulls back, tests, pulls back. And then if we break 44.75 and we have a close below there, it could probably move down even further. Apple today was on my short list. It was down pre-market. However, it is surging higher, definitely moving to the upside above 143.75. So a really nice trade, $1.70 off of that to the upside. Okay. So that's very nice. Awesome. So remember, when you get in, think of your exits, right? All right. Do you want to trim? Maybe if it comes up and it hits this resistance again up here, because it might reject it again, just keep that in mind. And I don't know what your trading plan is, but just keep it in mind. Work as well today had big volume. It's surging higher. Is a little bit of a trade on either side today, but looking to see if it's able to break out up above. We have a bit of a downward trend right here. Is it going to reject? You can see all the selling wicks off of this trend line right here. So is it going to come up and reject at 44.60 and then roll over? There's that potential. Everything is really strong today. It's like yesterday, everything was weak with the indexes being weak. Today, everything is strong. All right, LMFA, LM Funding of America. So we've seen some prints on mortgage companies a lot lately, actually. And we had Wells Fargo coming out saying that they're writing off personal line of credits, and that may affect people's credit. I think it would only affect it to the positive side because they're writing it off, and it's not due to the client, it's due to the bank writing it off. And there was also that one in Ireland doing the same. So is that going to happen with all of these, right? Are we going to see that mortgages are going to have the write-offs too with the banks? You know, a lot is up in the air. We also have, I forgot to mention it, we have G20 meetings that are going on today, and they're obviously talking about the recovery from all of the countries around the world, the 20 countries, 20 industrialized nations, including the G7, closed to the press, but they're talking about what they're going to do with the economy around the world, trying to work together to stimulate the economy for a good recovery in light of the new variants that are going on and all that good stuff. So is that going to happen with the banks? Seeing a lot of movement that the banks could be disappearing, mortgages maybe being written off, just like you're seeing those credit lines as well. Especially when Wells Fargo, a major name in the US, is writing off credit lines, it makes you go, why? Why is that? Oh, well, it wasn't the best producing for them, but they were getting anywhere from 5 to 20% interest on those personal lines of credit. So it seems like they should be making pretty good money off of it. Microsoft as well today didn't like the fact that they lost out on that contract from the government, and it seems like we're just sort of trading sideways. I had a wide range today, a little bit of move to the downside, but other than that, we're just sort of stalling in the middle of the day here. All right, let's check it out. So we've got some that you guys called out. Let's look at AGRI. Let's go to the daily chart over here. Oh, AGRI looks like a lower float. AgriForce just had its IPO yesterday, and I don't even know how many shares there are in it, but it looks like it looks lower float because it went from 5 to 14 really quickly. And right now, if it goes below 569, I would say, I think it's going to continue to the downside. Doesn't look like there's a lot of buying that's happening into it right now. Let's see if we can find out the float. AGRI stock float. 117, no, AGRI, here we go. Still don't know. Market Watch doesn't have it for us. All right, no worries. So if it goes below 550, I would say, I don't want to be a bag holder on this. I will just wait for it to be in that upward motion. All right, the other one, NEGG. So NEGG, it looks as if, is this another low float one? Are you bringing the low floats? No, this one has 333 million in it. So this one is following those moving averages to the upside, but we have a lot of selling wicks right here. It looks like 58.49, 58.50 was pretty strong resistance. It has not been able to move to the upside above that. And Newegg, aren't they the computer company? So potentially I would look for this to pull back down further and find some more support down here, 47.80. It looks like that's in resistance and provide support to then move to the upside, potentially squeeze all these shorts that got in and shorted it right here. Maybe you'll see a short squeeze on this the end of day today with shorts exiting, depending on how many people did short it this morning. That would be a nice short, right? 56 down to 49, nice $7 a share. And let's do PRLB. So PRLB, Photo Labs, is that it say? Proto Labs. There you go. Never heard of this before, but we are up above the 50 simple moving average on the 24-hour chart, which is good. Would look for a close above this, and then would look for a test up here around $97 to the upside. So if this does have a strong close, I would look likely for a gap up on this one, but the volume is dropping right here. So they are taking it up with low volume. Let's also look at the SPY as well, because I did notice that earlier today. When we look at it on the 24-hour chart, they are really taking it up, but look at the volume. The volume is much less. Granted, we still have 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes in the day, but the volume compared to all these other days is much less. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the Qs and see if that's the same. Qs, yeah, pretty low volume there as well. Let's check out IWM. Yeah, pretty low volume there as well. And let's look at DIA. Oh, it's hitting my 425 on the Russell. I like that for a point of rejection. Yeah, we had really big volume yesterday, and some of that had to do with later prints from the day prior. So know that even though you have a big volume right here, sometimes it's not truthful with those big guys. They sometimes hide it. All right, let's look at AA, Alcoa, right? AA. Pauline, did you mean AAL? We'll look at AAL. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. I'm not sure if you're still here. But AA, American Airlines, it's coming up and hitting the faster moving averages right here. It has been in a downward trend, has not been able to break above this purple one right here at 2102. So I'd watch to see. This is also hitting that 425 EMA on my 15-minute chart. So I would look for this. It might be a bit of profit taking in my opinion here. If I was in a position, I would take a partial and then move at Alcoa. Okay. Oh, it's because I'm on crypto. There we go. That's why. That's why it wasn't doing it for me. Oh, I'm sleepy. All right, Alcoa. So let's create this little trend line here. I see that. Let's pull it out even on a weekly. So it had really big volume over here. I see a bit more, even like this, an underlying one right here. Yeah, Mike. Helps when I'm on the right screen, huh? So it almost looks like there's another one right there. And it's just above it, came back and tested it. Are we going to close up above here? Looks like this trend line too, even though it incorporates all these other candlesticks, it was never able to really close above. Ah, right here it was. There. Yeah. So it was able to close above, close here. Strong, sell, 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 sell. Are we going to see a close up above this or moving down? Hey, good morning to you, Siddharth. It's afternoon for me here. All right, let's look at PFSE. PSFE. Third time's the charm. All right, Pay Safe Limited. So Pay Safe Limited on the weekly is not looking too pretty. On the daily, it's starting to curl up. I would like to see this close up above, optimally up above 1190, and then move to the upside. That'd be our 50 simple moving average. We have our 20 right here at 1160. It does have a nice bit of a reversal pattern right here with support at $11. So I would use 11 as my stop here, but I would like to see it even up a little bit further. I see that it did have this big gap up. I don't know if they got a contract or something like that. And then it hit this moving average and came back down. So if it were to move up to the upside, I would look for that target of 13 to the upside. All right, DraftKings, ESPN, DraftKings. So DraftKings also related to Disney. I believe, you know, they work hand in hand. So I would say if we look at this and we look at Disney, they're both somewhat in a downward trend. And this one drawing a bit of a trend line right here. It would need to really break out up above. I'd like it to break up above the 200 at 53, but it's in a bit of a retracement mode right now. And on the downside, trend-wise, oops, I'd look for it to close above this trend line. If it closes below, I would exit if I was long that one. Sitting at resistance. Eric, let's see. American Resource. So this has a little bit of a downward trend right here. Yeah, it's definitely sitting right on that trend line. And if it's strong and can close, how many shares? 223,000, 44 million in the float. Yeah, this might have a nice little squeeze on it. Let's check it out. We'll look at crypto as well a little bit. Everything is now green on the day. It was red earlier today. So right now there isn't a whole lot of short volume that's happening. On average, it's been 33%. So I wouldn't look for a big squeeze to happen on EREC anytime soon until a lot of people shorted it. So let's look at Micron. So Micron Technologies, really whippy. It does have this resistance right over here that it seems to be testing. So it came up, shot above it for a little bit, and then sold off. So I'd look to see, are we going to close above 79 over here? Because 79 looks like that would be that next round number that would offer resistance. And when we look at the volume down here, we have bigger volume that's up above us right here, right after earnings. And it didn't seem to perform well after earnings. So it could just be a bounce after that big drawdown yesterday. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. I'm going to look at it on the weekly chart just to see a clearer picture. And look at that. We are hitting the 20 simple moving average. It looks like it's been acting as resistance. And it is somewhat flattening out. That means that the price action really is not doing that well, whereas our 50 is still in the upward motion. So looking at this, it looks like it's just in a channel area right now between basically 121 area or 122.50 and 107. So I could tighten this up a little bit right here to 111, 112, and it's just going sideways right now. That's really hard to trade, like a lot of stocks. So let's look at cryptos over here. Oh. All right, so SNX, so XDC is regaining some steam today. XDC, Zinfin is being used as a financial payment company. Ah, thanks, that's it. Yeah, if you guys like the live stream, please hit that thumbs up button, the likes button. Oh, I'm really tired. I need a coffee. All right, so we've broken out of this downward trend, higher volume. If we can close strong, if we can close up above 0.099976, we could see a bigger move back up and potentially another wave to the upside, right? So we have 1, 2, we could see a 3. Let's see how far this went. This went 6 cents. So if we take it from here and we go 6 cents, we could look at up to 14 cents, which I believe would be all-time highs. Yeah, it would bring us to all-time highs on XDC. And you can see that would be a nice 65% for XDC. You can purchase this over at bittrue. If you look up, also anytime you want to see, go to Coin Market Cap. You want to see where you can purchase a coin. You can type it in over here. I'm waiting for it to load. It is taking a bit of time now. There we go. So you go to your search button up here. XDC. Really slow. Abnormally slow today. And it will tell you with the markets where you can purchase it. So it's up 9% so far. What does this say? XFIN community plans to terminate the contract of ER20 tokens XDC. Yeah, that's already happened. So you can buy it on KuCoin, Bitfinex. You can also buy it on bittrue as well right here. And you're able to see, hey, you're able to see who has the best price as well. And if you want to look at XDC, USD Tether, then you're able to look at it that way too. All right. Doge as well is moving a surge up. I heard a rumor. Musk said that we want to make it the currency of Mars. So Doge is also moving to the upside as well today. However, it has not really broken out of that downward trend. I'd like to see it up above 27 cents with a close up above there. You can see it is up above right now, but I'd like to see, 22.77 is where I'd like to see it close above. Algo as well is another one looking at for the crypto space. So looking at that to continue to move to the upside, we are testing that 50 simple moving average right here at 92. I'd love to see this back up above $1. And then look at that. It was up at 180. When we check out IOTA, IOTA was up at 280, pulled all the way back down to 67 cents, I believe. So it had a big Black Friday sale. And look at the volume coming in today, right? This is 24-hour volume coming in today. We have a lot of moving averages on top of each other. I'd like it to close up above 87 cents here and then surge up, test 99, $1, and then on up here, 117, and looking for hopefully bigger moves to the upside on that one. Ethereum is also up slightly on the day. Today, up $51 as of right now. Now remember, TradingView does reset the day at 8 p.m. Tesla's also doing well for today, recovery from all those negative news. Yeah, Tesla, NIO, Li, XPEV, all of the electric car sector is doing a bit better because they're talking about the climate change and climate agenda, really. I think that's a big part of the G20 is climate agenda of how they are going to, try to go all electric on cars by 2025. Personally, my next car will be a hybrid. Up here in Canada, the all electrics do not work so well in the really cold weather. Hybrids become basically gas cars. So having that backup is good up here. I like the dual and I love the efficiency. Let's also look at Cardano. So Cardano, you can see, was also, it had moved up into the ranks. You like this over here, we had an upside down head and shoulders, but it failed. It did not close up above, and then it moved back to the downside. All right, Mystery MM, we will check out APTY. Happy to check that out. So we looked at USDT. Let's look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is up $635 today. However, we are still below all of these moving averages. And what I really don't like is it's a ginormous head and shoulders. This is that line in the sand for me. If we close below here, 32,260, we'll call it, we are going to be heading down to roughly 4,000 back down here again. Because you can see it's a ginormous head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Michael Burry from The Big Short also posted this exact same chart saying, hey, Bitcoin is a massive head and shoulders. He's projecting the biggest drop in stock market history, which makes sense. We're coming from the top, and if we went down 30 to 50%, it's going to be the biggest drop, right? Because we're up at all-time highs. All right, let's look at Tesla really quickly. So Tesla, we are on the weekly chart here. You can see as well that 20 simple moving average has curled down. That is not good. That means that that price action over the past 20 weeks is drawing it to the downside. When we look at it on the daily as well, hey, this is a slower moving one. That's 120. That's 3 months, right? This is a pretty much, or 4-month average right here. And that is starting to roll down as well. So not looking so good. It's just come back up to the moving averages. Again, Aaron, it seems like you like to buy them when they are overextended down here, and then you like that trade back up, the mean reversion trade. I don't know if you know it, but look it up. It seems like that is the type of trade that you like. You have to be careful with those because what happens if it doesn't revert back to the mean? Okay, and let's look at APTY. So APTY on our daily chart had a bigger drop down here, down to, this is the 425 EMA. Nice, Aaron. And so APTY, it pulled back. We had some bigger volume. It's not a lot of volume overall though. What's the 583 million shares in the float and only 33 million so far. It is a lower. So if you look at 33 million times 1 cent, right? What's that dollar amount? That's really not that much. Times 0.01. So that's $330,000 that is being traded today. That's not that much in the grand scheme of big stocks. And it does have a downward trend, but it would take a lot for this to break and have a big short squeeze right here. Yeah, mean reversion. Here, I'll type it in for you. See, you learn stuff about yourself. Everybody likes a certain style. All right, let's check out 10. And then we'll do X, rig, and rail, and then I'm going to call it quits because I am tired. I need sleep. Okay, so 10 had a nice abandoned little baby down here, nice reversal pattern, big volume. Let's look at it over here on the daily. It does look like it's rolling over a bit, and if we draw a trend line, we are testing right at that resistance. So this looks like it would need to close up above 1950 for the day to really have a nice strong breakout to the upside, and earnings is coming up, so keep that in mind. NAD. Okay, let's look at X. So United Steel, nice move on United Steel here, coming up, testing resistance. I would look for a breakout up above with a close up above 24.50 or maybe a bit of profit taking. When you look at it on the week, you're going to see, hey, look at that. You see we're hitting those moving averages. So that's right here at 24.55. So we really need to break up above that. If it breaks up above that, I would look for a move up to 25.50 from there. So a dollar move potentially. 25 would probably also offer resistance. And let's check out rig. Rig had some dark pool activity and it looks like we're coming down over here. So it surged higher. We're pulling back to the moving averages. Let's check it on the daily. And I'm testing out a new moving average right here. And it hit it and is rejecting it. So it's caught below the moving averages. Let's turn on a little cheat here if you guys want to see something cool that says today is that first day to go short, right here. We have the moving average cross. So not just the only reason to get in using that, but a little bit more of condition. Plus the volume is dropping. So there's not as many people interested in buying. All right, let's go to rail. Rail right here. Wow, you see this big, it's just like it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It's hitting the 200 simple moving average. We have a bit of a triangle. It's becoming more narrow, but yeah, it's not, it tested it, it's closing above it right now over here on the shorter term. Yeah, I would look to see if it's going to sell back off and come back down below. Over here, are we going to close below 620 for the day, or is it going to close up above here, in which case it might do one of these like that. And Sava. Roman, you got it. That's the last one. Whoops, I hit cap locks. And if anybody would like to buy me a coffee, there's a link down below. Today I need it. I need that. Oops, I need that coffee. Go up here. So 24-hour. Yeah, APTY doesn't look super crazy to me. Needs more volume. There's not enough volume to make it interesting for me. All right, so Sava right here came up testing that resistance from yesterday over here, and it broke out, but we have big selling wick. It's not able to close up above. Look for it to pull back down to 167. How many shares are in this? 37. So this could drop really quickly. Are you shorting this, Roman? This could drop really quickly back down to 100 right here. I would look for that $5 drop to take profits around 100 potentially. Ah, thank you, Aaron. That's really kind of you. Thank you, thank you. That this could drop down to 100. I would look for 102.50, 100, and then down a bit further down to $98. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today. I will try to do a live stream again back on Sundays, back at the original time of 1:30. I did have to take some time off because I was just feeling burnt out with studying and everything that I do. So have an amazing weekend. Again, these are my social media handles. If you guys want to reach out, if you want to email me, jane@cjanetrade.com. But that's my Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. So have an amazing weekend. Carpe profit, seize those profits, one trade at a time, and I'll see you all on Sunday.